On September 25, 2022, just after midnight, a Georgia trooper sat quietly on Pennsylvania Avenue radar at the ready. The streets were still the kind of silence only late-night hours can bring. But that silence shattered when a gold Chevrolet Malibu came flying through at speeds well above the limit. The driver behind the wheel wasn't slowing down, and this was only the beginning of a very long night. The driver was later identified as 27-year-old Rashamel Howard. Troopers discovered he was a convicted felon, slurring his speech, reeking of alcohol, and yet denying he'd been drinking. Inside the wreckage, they also found a firearm he was not supposed to have. Howard was booked into jail, and this chase became another stark reminder that bad choices at high speeds almost always end one way, hard, fast, and costly. On September 7th, 2023, the streets of Little Rock turned into a racetrack long before sunrise. At just after 4:30 in the morning, Trooper Jackson Schumett was already out on patrol when a call came across the radio. Local officers were locked in a high-speed pursuit. The fleeing car wasn't just moving fast, it was tearing down the highway at a blistering pace that left no room for mistakes. And in the back of that dark sedan sat not one, but two suspects betting on speed to save them.
Adam 40 Little Rock 1037. Secondary now.
In the end, troopers had both suspects on the ground, their vehicle disabled, and a long night of poor decisions etched into the police report. Charges ranged from felony fleeing and reckless endangerment to resisting arrest and carrying stolen property. In the end, a simple choice to stop could have spared them the chaos, but instead, the pavement of Little Rock bore witness to another high-speed disaster. Afternoon on November 28, 2023, when Trooper Garrett Bird was rolling east on Interstate 40. His focus was on the Hernando de Soto Bridge, where other officers were tied up on a separate welfare call. But before he could even reach them, a flash of white in the passing lane pulled his eyes to the mirror. A Chevrolet Impala flying well over 90 miles per hour, carving through traffic like it owned the road. In an instant, the welfare call became secondary because this driver had just invited a new kind of trouble.
TBI on the bridge. TBI, TBI, TBI.
That driver was 36-year-old Michael Marquis McCall, and his poor decisions piled up quickly, a blood alcohol concentration well above the legal limit, an open beer, can still sloshing with liquid, no insurance, and not even wearing his seatbelt properly. He was hit with charges ranging from felony fleeing to DWI and reckless driving. In the end, the bridge became the dividing line. One side was freedom, the other was jail, and McCall crossed it in the worst possible way.
Dispatch 1037.
longer airway.
TBI. Get on the ground. Get on the ground. Get on the fucking ground. Okay, wait. I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground. I'm on the ground, officer. I'm on the ground. Stupid. Give me your hand. Oh, I can't. Keep your hands up.
Minutes later, as the suspect returned to the main road, Trooper Thomas quickly closed in and executed a successful TBI, sending the vehicle into a tree and forcing it to stop. The driver surrendered and was taken into custody without further incident. A quick search of the vehicle and the suspect revealed a large amount of cash and drugs.
Can you run 15 or don't mail?
I'll bring out these.
I'm assuming it was some kind of drug. He made a hand-to-hand.
He said he threw about an 8-ball out on y'all were going through. I don't know if
In the field?
or not. I don't know how big that area was.
It's behind the fire department. On Walker Place.
Miami, March 29th, 2024, a Florida Highway Patrol trooper spotted a silver BMW tearing through the I-95 express lanes.
Hollywood, doing 94 miles an hour in the express. 95 northbound past Hollywood and advised speed of past the miles an hour. 10-4, 94 miles an hour express. 95 northbound express. At Hollywood, 95 94 miles an hour. 10-4, pass on the overpass for Hollywood now. For 95 northbound, the overpass of Hollywood. We got a play. Stop for vehicle fit, 95 northbound, overpass by Hollywood. Overpass of Hollywood. We got a play. Stop for vehicle fit, 95 northbound, overpass by Hollywood. Overpass by Hollywood.
Once the chase came to an end, the driver was safely taken into custody. Another car had been struck in the process. Fortunately, everyone inside was unharmed. The woman behind the wheel now faces several traffic-related charges for reckless driving and fleeing from law enforcement. Her decision to run could easily have turned tragic for innocent motorists.
On September 11, 2025, at about 9:50 a.m., Trooper Price was advised by dispatch that the Sequoia County Sheriff's Office and Roland Police Department were pursuing a Jeep Wrangler eastbound on Interstate 40 toward Arkansas in connection with a counterfeit money investigation. At the time, Trooper Price was traveling westbound on I-40 near the 2-mile marker. The Jeep continued east at speeds between 95 and 120 miles per hour, weaving through traffic. Trooper Eric Hogue joined the pursuit at the 7-mile marker. The suspect then exited onto Interstate 540 southbound at exit 7. At the 2-mile marker on I-540, Trooper Price attempted a pit maneuver when the suspect slowed, but the driver regained control and continued south.
You got it, circle. Whatever, he got it. He got it. Searching 16 rollover. 10-4, TBI rollover.
After crossing the Arkansas River Bridge, Trooper Price executed a second pit maneuver. The Jeep spun counterclockwise into the median, then clockwise onto its driver's side, sliding across both lanes before striking the guardrail and coming to rest in the northeastbound right lane. Trooper Price observed the driver reaching inside the vehicle, prompting officers to approach with weapons drawn and order him to exit. Around 5 p.m. on May 21, 2024, the car later reappeared near Walmart in Morrilton, where Morrilton police picked up the chase. The driver exited at 94 and headed north on Highway 105, with Trooper Dumont taking the lead in the pursuit.
Right now. As we start drink, shut down the whole road. Now this stop sign, he He's surrounded, he's off in the ditch. We got him here on 326.
As the pursuit reached the intersection of Lower Pine Hill Road and Highway 326, the Mustang locked its brakes again, causing Trooper Dumont to make another light contact with its rear. Seizing the opportunity, Unit J30 executed a pit maneuver, sending the suspect into a loss of control. Before the driver could recover, Trooper Dumont made a lawful, intentional intervention, pinning the Mustang into a ditch with the front of his patrol car and disabling it completely. The suspect was taken into custody immediately afterward. When asked if it was worth it, he replied indifferently that he was going to jail anyway and figured he might as well keep running, adding that he'd probably never get the chance to drive a car like that again.
Because they didn't turn right here, they took back up to 105, and then they made it.
In Indian River County, a suspect rammed through a gate and sped across the Grand Harbor Golf Course in Vero Beach, all that crazy things just to escape from officers.
Sure, John. To the right.
The woman was brought to a stop after a short pursuit and arrested before being taken into custody. She came dangerously close to hitting golfers who were out enjoying a sunny day, but luckily disaster was avoided.
On July 10, 2025, at around 11:41 a.m.,
All right, get ready for phone call.
54 if you can.
Hold on, Mario. Hold on.
at approximately 11:44 a.m., near mile marker 7 on SR 408, the driver lost control and veered left, crashing into the concrete median. Though the Mercedes kept moving, it couldn't regain high speed due to damage to the left side tires. Trooper Ray attempted a pit maneuver by positioning behind the vehicle's left rear fender. The suspect suddenly slammed the brakes, triggering contact and initiating the pit. The Mercedes spun and hit the median with its rear. Then Ray delivered a final impact to the right side, forcing the car into the right guardrail and ending the pursuit. The driver exited through the driver's side and fled on foot toward Pine Hills Road.
Hey, stay back, get back in the car, get back in the car. Get back in the car, come on, get back in the car. Hey, he's running on foot. Hey, stop right there. We're running west down exit ramp to the Pine Hills on foot, black male, black shirt, black jeans, bald head, black jeans. I'm headed to this, by the way. Hey, stop right there! Stop! You're gonna get stopped, bro! Alright, location's gonna be exit ramp 408 to Pine Hills westbound. Get on the ground, bro. Hey!
Sergeant Impelaziri remained with the suspect vehicle, while Trooper Ray pursued the fleeing driver on foot, issuing loud, clear verbal commands to stop. The suspect eventually complied, laid down, and was taken into custody without further resistance. At 11:46 a.m., the suspect was arrested for fleeing and eluding. He was positively identified as Darius Demetrius Lowe through his social security number. At about 8:33 p.m. on October 15, 2025, Trooper Schwab was alerted by the Drug Task Force about a vehicle heading north on Interstate 49. The driver was wanted in connection with an aggravated assault on a law enforcement officer. Schwab spotted the silver Hyundai Santa Fe near exit 69 and followed as it exited at exit 70, continuing east on Don Tyson Parkway. After passing South 48th Street, Schwab activated his emergency lights, but the vehicle accelerated away. He then turned on his siren and notified dispatch of the pursuit.
1037 eastbound.
10-4, all units were 1063 at 834.
Traffic's light eastbound.
10-4.
TBI.
10-4.
Hand! Hand! Show me your hands! Show me your hands! Hand! Hands! On the ground! On the ground! On the ground! Ground! On the ground! On the ground! Face down! Face down!
I'm with you, I got your left.
Hey, I'm gonna go cut this one.
You fucking stay there.
Anybody else in the car?
You fucking hear me? Stay right there. Do not fucking move. You stupid motherfucker, you hit me with your car, you dumbass.
1015 times 2. Go over. Go over. Sit up.
After a successful pit maneuver, the driver and passenger were taken into custody without further incident. The driver, identified as Percy Davis, was charged with fleeing by vehicle or conveyance, driving on a suspended license, and reckless driving. Davis was extradited and is scheduled to appear in court on the listed charges.
On October 26, 2024, 2 deputies responded to a location in the 1500 block of Southeast 59th Street and made contact with 41-year-old James Brady. Brady requested assistance, stating he had taken drugs and needed medical attention, fearing he might be taken to jail. But what followed was nothing short of unexpected chaos. Stay tuned as the situation takes an unpredictable and intense turn, one you won't want to miss.
Hello, Sheriff's Office. What's going on?
I'm having a really bad day.
Okay.
You have my record, police record?
I got nothing, sir. All we got was a phone call saying you were at a cemetery, which wasn't the case.
Would you call in dispatch or have one more cop come out, please?
Dispatch called me here. What is it you need?
I don't trust anybody anymore.
Okay, well, you called us, so you must need us for something. So what is it going on? What is it you called us out here for? They told us that you called, said people were after you, you were in the trees, and then a second call came in, you said you were at the cemetery.
Okay.
That's all we've been told.
After a brief conversation with the deputies, James Brady suddenly stood up and bolted from the scene, leaving the deputies momentarily stunned and scrambling to react. What could Brady possibly have in mind, and where was he headed? Stay tuned to witness the bizarre twists and turns of this unexpected escape attempt.
What's going on? We don't really have any PC for anything at this point. Yeah. Is your car locked?
Yeah.
No, whose car is that? I just locked it. Hey! 5507. Hey! Stop the car!
5507.
Hold the station, man. The subject that's on my vehicle attempted to take it today. Hey!
The deputies, caught off guard by James Brady's sudden escape, were left with no choice but to spring into action. Determined to regain control of the situation and ensure public safety, they initiated a pursuit. How could such a lapse happen? And what lengths will they go to prevent this situation from escalating further? Buckle up as this chase takes a wild turn.
Westbound 10th Street.
You can get a pin on that car, get a pin on that car. $65.85, I'm out.
No problem. 5980.
I'm behind it. I'm going to try and pit, Mary.
I'm trying to pit.
Okay, pit. 200 and okay.
Good.
Do not let him get out of there.
After multiple attempts to bring the fleeing vehicle to a stop, the deputies successfully executed a pit maneuver at the intersection. James Brady exited the vehicle and was taken into custody without further incident. Brady was arrested and now faces a litany of serious charges, including fleeing and eluding police, failing to obey a law enforcement order to stop grand theft of a motor vehicle, aggravated battery on an officer, firefighter, or EMT, armed burglary of a structure of conveyance. No bond was set for Brady, marking the conclusion of this pursuit.
December 4th, 2024 started as just another patrol shift on Macon Road. A Georgia state trooper spotted a silver Toyota Camry weaving in its lane, its insurance status just as shaky as the way it was being driven. When the lights and sirens came on, the driver actually pulled over, at least that is what it looked like. But in the blink of an eye, what should have been a simple traffic stop took a sharp turn into something far more dangerous.
Pit, mile marker 14. Mile marker 14.
Clear, pit, mile marker 14.
The driver, later identified as 18-year-old Kamari Gamble, would not survive the aftermath of that final move. EMS rushed him to the hospital, but his injuries proved fatal. For a teenager who thought running was the best way out, the chase ended as a tragic reminder that fleeing from the law almost always writes its own ending, and it is never a good one.
In the next incident, a woman attempted to flee from police, triggering a lengthy pursuit that involved dozens of patrol units.
We're at the intersection of Rocky River and Oak Park Road. Sideswipe 830.
On June 15, 2023, Ohio State Highway Patrol attempted to stop a black Chevrolet Tahoe, but the driver refused to comply and sped off, prompting a pursuit. The vehicle quickly began circling through residential areas in an effort to evade officers.
Just taking a left on North Church.
Soon after, one of the suspect's tires flew off completely, but she continued to flee, driving on the bare rim in a desperate attempt to escape.
And it looks like speeds are about 15 right now. Might be coming to a stop here on the on-ramp. Car's having trouble holding it together, driving out the road here on the on-ramp to 480 east. 480 eastbound, cutting across all the lanes to the fast lane. Speeds are only about 15 right now. No tires on the left side of the car.
Make a wall, stay wide behind me.
Alright, everybody move wide. 480 east right now. Speeds are about 53. Whoever's directly behind this car, be careful. There's going to be shrapnel coming off there. Give it some room.
6-6 is directly behind it. Keep a wall, don't let any cars pass you.
We're coming up to the 71 split. They're thinking taking it here. They're weaving back and forth between lanes. She's now going the wrong direction on 480 eastbound. We do have traffic behind us stop though. Looks like we're coming to a stop here. Yeah, we gotta get this car stopped. We gotta head on, block it in.
Finally, as the driver attempted to make a U-turn, one trooper executed 2 pit maneuvers, while another positioned a patrol car in front of the suspect's vehicle, forcing it to a stop. The driver was then taken into custody without further incident. She later told officers that the chase had been a deliberate attempt at suicide by cop, indicating a deeply troubled mental state.
Fucking car.
At about 11:07 p.m. on September 11th, 2025,
Hey, Troop Burger State Police, speed limit.
During the stop, Officer Butcher identified the driver as Archie Flemons. When asked for his license and insurance, Flemons said he had left them at home. Butcher handed him a notepad to write down his information, but Flemons appeared nervous, with shaking hands and illegible handwriting. As Butcher returned to his patrol car to run the information through ACIC/NCIC, Flemons suddenly sped away. Butcher activated his siren and advised ASP Troop A dispatch that he was in pursuit. While attempting to enter the eastbound I-40 ramp, Flemons lost control and crashed. Officer Ronald Grace arrived shortly after. Officer Butcher ordered Flemons out of the vehicle and onto the ground. Flemons initially complied but then tried to flee on foot. Onto the pavement and sustained facial injuries. Despite repeated commands to stop resisting and place his hands behind his back, Flemons tried to get up and run again. Officer Grace deployed the taser multiple times before Flemons was finally subdued and taken into custody without further incident. He was transported to the Pulaski County Detention Center and booked on the following charges: fleeing by vehicle, exceeding the speed limit, fleeing on foot, assault in the third degree, resisting arrest, speeding, more than 15 miles per hour over the limit, driving on a suspended license, reckless driving, first offense, no liability insurance.
Afternoon after Christmas, December 27th, 2021, and the interstate was just starting to settle into its winter lull. But in Bibb County, one Ford Ranger was breaking that calm at 90 miles per hour. The driver eased up for a moment, but never actually gave in. Instead, it became clear this was going to be one of those moments where a bad decision snowballs into something far worse.
Seven outside. Seven outside.
By the time it was over, the Ford Ranger was on its side, its driver still belted in and looking dazed. Joseph Silas confessed he had been drinking, his voice tinged with worry about his job. Emergency crews cut him free, and he left the scene in custody. His blood test pending, his truck destroyed, and his driving record permanently marked. In the end, the road decided the out.
On April 26, 2025, at approximately 1:05 a.m., Sergeant Nathan Williams was parked on the eastbound on-ramp of Interstate 30 from Geyer Springs Road when multiple Little Rock Police Department units passed by, pursuing a stolen 1995 Buick Century with Arkansas license plate 442 WLT. Troop A Dispatch advised that Sergeant Hutchison was requesting assistance. At approximately 11:35 p.m., at the intersection of Westville Road and Crawford Road, the rider, later identified as Brian Beacom, lost control of the motorcycle and abandoned it. Beacom was taken into custody without further incident. He was later transported by Alma police officers to Baptist Health in Van Buren for treatment of minor injuries. After receiving medical clearance, he was booked into the Crawford County Detention Center.
Well, guess what? Now you're selling. Did I tell you to stand up? It's in your pocket here. Anything on you legal? Guns, knives? No, I don't got. I have a knife in my pocket. What are you running for? Because I just told you I have a warrant. Well, that's kind of stupid, right? You might face myself. I hope. No, you're still ugly. Your dip's bleeding. You hurt anywhere else? You need an ambulance? You need an ambulance? Honestly, my fucking head hit.
Around 2:30 p.m. on December 12, 2024, Trooper Michael Diego was monitoring northbound traffic on Interstate 95 near mile marker 135 in St. Lucie County when he spotted a green SUV traveling at an extremely high speed. Using a laser speed device, he confirmed the vehicle was moving at 96 miles per hour in a 70-mile-per-hour zone. When he activated his lights and siren, the driver refused to stop, accelerating to about 110 miles per hour and continuing northbound. At mile marker 140, the pursuit entered Indian River County. Near mile marker 145, the suspect's SUV became trapped behind a semi-truck in the right lane. Trooper Diego moved into the center lane with Trooper Wade close behind. Trooper Wade attempted a pit maneuver, but it was unsuccessful. The suspect regained control of the vehicle and continued northbound at high speed. As the suspect approached Avenue 66, he lost control, veering over the raised concrete median, crossing the westbound lanes, and crashing onto the north shoulder of State Road 60, where the vehicle struck and knocked down a light pole. The SUV came to a stop in the parking lot of Autumn's Crab, 6700 21st Street, Vero Beach. The driver, later identified as Furman Shaquille Green, fled on foot but surrendered shortly after when surrounded by officers. During the arrest search, Trooper Wade discovered a clear plastic bag containing green leafy substance on Green, which was seized as evidence.
In the early hours of January 12, 2025, a Florida Highway Patrol trooper stationed in Lee County received a "Be on the lookout" alert for a fleeing white Ford sedan. Minutes later, the vehicle passed by, matching the description and plate number exactly.
Put your hands out the window! You're not... You understand me? Put your hands up!
The driver, identified as 28-year-old Ivanka Jael Rivera, was taken into custody after a high-speed pursuit that reached over 100 miles per hour. Rivera later told troopers she fled because she was scared and trying to call for help. She was booked into the Charlotte County Jail for fleeing to elude and multiple traffic offenses. Another reminder that panic behind the wheel can have serious consequences.
On April 25, 2021, Troop B alerted Troop C Communications about a stolen Isuzu NPR landscape truck being tracked in the Atlanta metro area.
Go ahead.
A few minutes later, as the pursuit continued on I-75 near Central Avenue and traffic had cleared, Trooper Ennis executed a pit maneuver. The suspect's vehicle spun clockwise, veered off the roadway, and crashed into a guardrail before flipping over. Troopers quickly exited their vehicles and moved in to approach the overturned truck. Troopers broke through the windshield and successfully took the driver into custody without further incident. The suspect was identified as Tyrell Williamson. He was transported to Grady Hospital for medical evaluation, then taken to the Fulton County Jail, where he was booked and held.
We ain't gonna stop chasing you. Well, we could just stop.
At approximately 10:56 p.m. on November 8, 2024,
We're still living probably about 37 right now. Still north Mount Ridge, still north Woodson right now. Green light to push intersection. Passenger door's coming over again. 23 to... Yeah, he spun out again. Stand by, into a yard.
because of the rain, slick roads, and the suspect's reckless driving, officers were preparing to terminate the pursuit. But moments later, the driver lost control, veered off the roadway, and struck a tree, bringing the vehicle to a stop. Officers quickly moved in, ordering the occupants to surrender. Both the driver and passenger complied and were taken into custody without further incident. The female passenger was later released after being found uninvolved. The driver, wanted on a felony probation violation and caught driving on a revoked license, was placed under arrest.
Keep crawling. Keep crawling.
I'm crawling.
Lay down. Do it now. Arms. Stop resisting. Yeah, you are. Resisting. I said don't tense up. All right. All right. All right. Dumb.
2023 in Savannah, Georgia, a gray Dodge Challenger was clocked at 88 miles per hour before accelerating past 130.
Pit, Rick pit. I think we're on Duran. Stand by. Pit, Rick pit. I think we're on Duran. Stand by. Put your hands up now! Put them up! You do anything wrong, you're gonna get killed right now. You understand me?
Sir, yes, sir.
You see this gun in your face?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Get out of the car now.
Okay.
Keep your hands up. Outside. Put them outside!
I'll be in
Open it from the outside, you dumbass!
After the driver was finally stopped and detained, he admitted fleeing because he didn't want another ticket. The man was charged with reckless driving, felony fleeing, and DUI based on marijuana use. What started as a simple speeding violation spiraled into a case that could follow him for years. Speed enforcement duty on February 18, 2023 quickly turned dangerous for a Georgia trooper watching Interstate 85. A Mercedes-Benz ripped through his radar zone at nearly 100 miles per hour and kept going, weaving through heavy traffic like a pinball.
$10.50 to 28. He's on foot, black male, be white shirt, black pants. Black male. Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the...
The driver, later identified as Courtney Leslie, crashed after exiting the interstate and tried to flee on foot. Officers subdued him after a brief struggle. Leslie was medically cleared and charged with felony fleeing, battery on an officer, and reckless driving.
On April 27, 2025, at approximately 4:33 p.m., Trooper Tiller heard a motorcycle accelerating on North State Line Avenue and saw a blue and white Suzuki 600cc, later identified as being ridden by Caleb Reinhardt, traveling northbound near East 42nd Street.
Four checking. 6464. 1635.
Pull over.
I hope you're able to give updates to Texas. I'm on the phone with him right now. Pull over.
Going off-road, near Bend Road.
Hospital, where he admitted to fleeing for fun, having a suspended license, no insurance, and being on parole. He also admitted to drinking earlier, but denied being intoxicated. On November 15th, 2025, at about 1:50 p.m., Trooper Dobbins was patrolling eastbound on Rogers Avenue near Cape.
Dashcam Rogers, towards Rogers.
He's going into oncoming traffic now. Or do you want me to stop him?
10 more, oncoming traffic.
Back on Rogers, going towards Baldwin.
Rogers, towards Baldwin.
McKinney then turned east onto Rogers Avenue, and as he approached the Walmart entrance, abruptly hit the brakes to make a sharp left turn. Trooper Dobbins closed the distance and may have made light contact with the dirt bike's rear tire, though no collision occurred. McKinney lost control, struck the curb, and crashed into a utility box. After the impact, McKinney got to his feet, looked back at Trooper Dobbins, and took off running toward a nearby drainage ditch.
You get right down in front of Walmart.
You see if we get somebody with a dog too.
Careful.
In the dumpster. Right around the dumpsters.
They're telling me he's in these dumpsters over here. River Valley Family Dentistry. These dumpsters over here beside the car wash.
Page 14, 460, receiving the call behind you, taking off slow, and behind 8411 Phoenix.
After receiving tips from nearby residents, Trooper Dobbins responded first to the River Valley Smile Center and then to Car Wash USA Express on Phoenix Avenue. A witness pointed him toward the rear of the business, saying McKinney was hiding near the dumpsters. Moments later, another witness spotted him crouched behind a dumpster. McKinney stood up, surrendered.
On January 25, 2024, in Thurston County, Washington, deputies were investigating an auto theft when the stolen SUV was spotted speeding through Tumwater. The driver briefly pulled over, then suddenly took off down Interstate 5, pushing his luck and his vehicle to dangerous limits.
36, just go for a pit if you can. We're southbound case now. Let me grapple him.
Fine grapple. Word. 5-3's calling in. We're just south of Midtown on case. Yeah.
Receive vehicle crash Midtown in case.
Correction. We're still rolling. Got the grapple.
Still rolling, applying the grapple.
50-foot bails. Let the dog go.
My grapple, bro.
My grapple, bro.
Grapple at 1642.
Hit.
Copy, curve date.
Monkey, show me your fucking hands. You're gonna get bit. You're gonna get bit. Watch that guy! Watch that guy! Watch that guy! Yeah, good boy, Asher! Watch that guy!
When the pursuit finally came to an end, the suspect stepped out of the SUV and took a long drink of vodka as if nothing had happened. Deputies quickly moved in with help from K9 Asher, arresting a man they already knew all too well. He was booked for DUI, attempting to elude a pursuing police vehicle and driving on a suspended license, adding yet another chapter to a long history of reckless choices.
On June 20th, 2025, around 2 p.m., Trooper Elvis Nolasco, a felony officer with the Florida Highway Patrol's Criminal Interdiction Unit, After multiple pit maneuvers, the suspect's vehicle was finally forced to a stop. Both occupants were taken into custody without further incident. The driver was identified as Derek Denavon Taylor Jr. and the passenger as William Wade Woods. During the search following the arrest, officers discovered a black zippered bag inside the Mercedes containing a white powdery substance believed to be cocaine, 12 blue round pills identified as oxycodone, 4 pink triangular tablets suspected to be MDMA, 17.8 grams of marijuana, and various drug paraphernalia. Taylor now faces charges related to fleeing and multiple drug offenses. When
On November 29, 2024, Trooper Donnie Cheers of the Arkansas State Police spotted what should have been a routine violation: a gray sedan creeping by with a busted headlight and no proper license plate. The car was barely legal to be on the road, but that was only the beginning of the problems. When the trooper stepped out to make contact, the driver made a snap decision that turned a small ticket into a night of chaos. The driver was later identified as Mario Biggs, who was rushed to the hospital after his reckless run ended in disaster. His passenger, Andrika Dixon, was detained but released after questioning. With an uninsured, unregistered vehicle and a laundry list of reckless choices, Biggs walked away with injuries and a pile of charges that made a broken headlight look like the least of his worries.
On January 1, 2024, around 9 p.m., a Monona police officer observed an SUV make a sudden turn near the intersection of St. Teresa Terrace and Monona Drive. Suspecting the driver was trying to avoid contact, the officer followed. The suspect vehicle then ran a stop sign before crashing into a tree. Dashcam footage captured the SUV's brake lights activating just before the impact, followed by a burst of flames as the vehicle struck the tree. When officers approached, the SUV was heavily damaged, with all 3 occupants trapped inside and appearing seriously injured. Officers quickly broke the rear window to begin extracting the victims from the vehicle.
I got it. No. Get underneath him? I mean, I don't get underneath, but it's right. No, they're good.
You can't get another one in here? Yeah. Hey, you still awake? You still awake? I'm afraid to even climb in there. It might dislodge it. Yeah. Can anyone inside hear me? Hey, do you want me to check a pulse on him? I can get down below. I'm afraid the car could shift and crush you. Oh, good point. Okay. Do you guys want to start third shift? Nacho's handling it. Hey, bud. Come on, wake up. I don't think we can get in and check the guy in the back, Nacho, without shifting the car. Hey, I'm not sure if Natural's gonna want this, but open bottle. Just leave everything in the car. Leave everything in the car. Got a couple strips under the hose and grab it. Hear me? Here comes somebody from fire, it looks like.
8440, second one.
Oh, okay, third one here.
There's three?
Yeah, this one's obvious.
8440, we have a third obvious. Third obvious.
Not yet.
Not yet from fire, good sir.
Carter, grab your camera.
Just after 9 a.m. on January 8, 2023, Cabot police were managing traffic around a crash scene on Highway 67-167 when disaster struck. A semi-truck barreled into the back of a patrol vehicle that was parked for protection.
Well, you're right, they could have done that. Holy sh**, don't get over. Yeah, we need MEMS and everybody.
Want to notify state police, number 18, we want to strike one of our patrol vehicles on the highway. It's going to be a code 9. The 18-wheeler's in the trees.
4090, been busy?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
You want to come walk with me out here to men? We can check you out. You still able to walk?
Thankfully, the officer was outside the car at the moment of impact and avoided injury. The department later urged drivers to always move over for first responders and tow operators, a small act that could save a life.
At around 11 p.m. on May 28, 2025, a Florida Highway Patrol trooper was patrolling when he noticed a Jaguar sedan rapidly approaching from behind at high speed. As the vehicle sped past, radar confirmed it was traveling 103 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour zone. The trooper activated his lights and siren and accelerated to pursue, while the Jaguar continued racing ahead, showing no sign of slowing down. After the first pit attempt failed, the trooper executed a second precise maneuver, sending both the patrol car and the suspect's Jaguar crashing through shrubbery near an Amazon delivery facility before coming to a stop. A backup officer arrived within moments, helping the trooper detain everyone inside the vehicle. The driver claimed he had been asleep and wasn't the one driving, an excuse that left officers struggling not to laugh. A handgun and a small bag containing a green leafy substance, suspected to be marijuana, were found inside the car. Fortunately, no one was seriously injured in the incident.
On July 4th, 2025, a celebration night in Arkansas turned chaotic when police began pursuing a silver Nissan Altima tied to street racing. The chase weaved through gravel roads and dense holiday traffic as the young driver showed no regard for safety or authority.
He's closer on. Closer. We got a lot of traffic around there.
10-4-25, you're going to be in that intersection.
Okay, we need to get some guys out there. South First Street. We're southbound.
25, 10-4. Copy, please, it. Copy. First Street and Gillian Avenue.
Once the pursuit ended, officers arrested the driver, 19-year-old Emerson Castellano Diaz. His charges included felony fleeing, forgery, and reckless driving, among others. A firearm was found inside the vehicle, and his passenger, a minor, was cited as well. Independence Day ended behind bars for the reckless racer who learned freedom isn't found in speed.
On the afternoon of June 27, 2022, Lonoke County, Arkansas, was rocked by an unusual crime, the theft of a dump truck near Furlough, reported by the sheriff's office. Within moments of receiving the alert, police located the stolen vehicle and launched a pursuit. But soon after, chaos unfolded in rapid succession.
Yeah, we're rolling at about 5 miles an hour.
Put it in park. Put it in park. Put it in park. You got it. Get that. Get him out. Get him out. Get some handcuffs. You got it. Hands behind your back. Right now.
Once the car came to a stop, officers swiftly shattered the window, deployed a stun gun to subdue the suspect, and dragged him out into custody. He was later identified as Trevor Strickland and was sentenced to 180 months at the Arkansas Department of Corrections on multiple felony charges.
Yep, he's turning.
On September 18, 2023, the Florida Highway Patrol received a chilling alert. A BMW had been stolen in a homicide. Within moments, the police spotted the car and turned on their sirens, setting off a high-speed chase that was dangerous at every turn.
What lane? What lane? Go ahead, put the fast lane, inside lane. Fast lane, put a fast lane. Yep, he's turning. God, put him now, please now. Hello, my driver. Past Rocky Point yet? Single occupant. Back southbound. North Marion County, 2-3, get us in area.
10-4.
Police tried multiple times to stop the BMW along U.S. Highway 441, but the driver tore ahead at extreme speeds, swerving past stop sticks with reckless precision. Finally, officers lost patience, executing a flawless pit maneuver that sent the car careening off the roadway before screeching to a halt.
Remember what you're doing, felony stop. Block traffic back in the back, please. Don't let it go down so you get both unblocked or leave it. Block. Hey, we'll bring him this way. We'll bring him this way. Hey, we'll bring him this way. Stop, traffic, stop. Get down the car. Get down the car. Take away from me. Hands up. Hold backwards. Hold backwards. Hands up. Hold backwards.
Moments after the vehicle skidded to a stop, police closed in from all sides, cutting off any chance of escape. The driver surrendered immediately and was taken into custody without resistance. He was later identified as Javon Stefan Barclay and booked into the Marion County Jail on multiple felony charges.
At around 1 p.m. on November 20th, 2025, Trooper Long was traveling south on Highway 289 when he spotted a maroon Ford Escape speeding at 71 miles per hour in a 55 miles per hour zone. He immediately turned around and attempted a traffic stop. Despite the patrol car's emergency lights and siren running at full blast, the Ford Escape continued northbound and refused to pull over.
vehicle.
Pull over.
Although Trooper Long repeatedly issued verbal commands for the driver to stop, she ignored every order. To bring the situation to a safe end, Trooper Long performed a controlled containment maneuver, positioning his patrol unit alongside the Ford Escape and guiding it toward the shoulder. The vehicle came to a complete stop without further incident, and the driver surrendered peacefully. During the encounter, the driver showed clear signs of impairment, slurred speech, poor coordination, and erratic behavior. She repeatedly stated, "I have 4 to 8 ounces of meth in my pants." After being transported to the county jail, a female corrections officer conducted a search and found no drugs in her possession.
Okay. How much have you had to drink?
At approximately 8:03 p.m. on October 22, 2025, Trooper Martin assisted the Springdale Police Department in a vehicle pursuit involving a Jaguar XJ8. Springdale officers had initially stopped the car on Highway 265, just north of Apple Blossom Avenue, when the Jaguar suddenly accelerated and fled the scene. Trooper Martin then became the primary pursuit unit, with Sergeant Randall Schwab serving as secondary.
We're Springdale on a 1037 standby.
A short time later, Trooper Martin executed a successful pit maneuver, bringing the pursuit to an end. The driver, later identified as Steve Cooper, was given verbal commands to exit the vehicle, which he complied with before being taken into custody without incident. During a search of the Jaguar, Springdale police discovered a plastic bag containing a white crystalline substance, suspected to be methamphetamine. All evidence collected from the vehicle and Cooper was turned over to the 4th Judicial Drug Task Force for further investigation. Cooper was charged with fleeing and is scheduled to appear in Lowell Court at 9 a.m. on December 1st.
On the radio with Springdale, and that's all I got now. Okay. Well, I wouldn't let him go no further, so.
Erupted on January 24, 2023 in Columbus, Georgia, when a pickup truck blew through a stop sign and nearly clipped a trooper's patrol car. Within seconds, the driver abandoned the truck, jumped into a waiting Nissan Altima, and tore off through city streets.
.663 Manchester. You'll pause this stop on 1038.
Where are you going? Stop! Right now! Stop! Stop!
They're still going. $10.50 again. Push one.
The suspects escaped into an apartment complex, leaving the car behind. Inside, troopers found suspected narcotics, multiple phones, and a loaded Glock pistol. The investigation was turned over to the Narcotics Division, and warrants are pending for felony fleeing, possession with intent to distribute, and unlawful firearm possession.